Oh yeah. That's the thing about being live. I'm getting live update, live questions from some people, man.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
already?
yeah, a guy that's in a keeper league with me. Deadline is Wednesday to drop
Okay.
down to 6, and he has 7 players. So he's wanting to know if he should. Somebody's trying to give him a pick for Ayuk, so he wants to. But Ayuk cost a 6th round pick, whereas he can keep AJ Green for like a 15th round pick.
Well,
So
well, you know what?
so
But you know what,
and they're
calculator?
giving him a higher draft position this year.
Okay.
So
But guess
let's see.
what? Tell him to hit like, subscribe, and notify.
I do need to do that, and then he can post his questions live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him to do that, and then we'll get with him. All right. Okay. Well, today is Mock Draft Monday. Welcome to the show,
Okay.
everybody. And we're gonna do exactly what it says. We're gonna do a mock draft. But before we get into the mock draft, we're going to talk about the top tier wide receivers this week as we inch closer and closer and closer to the live draft for the listener league, which is on August the 30th this year. So we're getting close, and we won't be alone. All right, Lacey, calculator, you don't have to just hang with me, but we'll have somebody else in the building in just a minute.
Okay.
Everybody's ready?
Ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, fantasy football show. Here we go.
Greetings and salutations, sports fans.
Hola and
Yeah,
ciao.
yeah, there we go. Oh, and I love wide receivers, Lacey. I mean, this is where you can literally win a league. And to emphasize that, I always bring up how lucky I was, and I got proof when we have another guest come on. He can back me up on this. In a league, I was able to get Cooper Cup, Jamar Chase, and Debo Samuel all in the same draft. And basically, I was able to withstand the poor performances of a person named Saquon Barkley as my what I thought was my hero running back. So, hey, wide receivers can really help you out if you pick them right.
PPR. Yeah.
That's right. PPR. That's right. And especially with flex positions, you like to fill that flex position with a PPR receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and remember back in the day when LT in one of our leagues back in the day, he was a trendsetter. Back then it was heavy, heavy, heavy on running backs. And you remember when LT went with the, I believe it was the Terrell Owens, and another wide receiver combo.
Which LT?
Yeah.
LT Lamont, that LT.
Okay,
Oh
that
yeah,
LT.
yeah. There's 2 LTs, Mister
Is
411.
hilarious.
I'm about to say because the other LT,
Oh
he's a
yeah,
running back. He's a running back fanatic. He would just say, you don't.
right. Not that LT. We know he'll drive
Yeah.
100
Yeah,
running
I,
back.
I thought
Yeah.
I
But
thought you were talking about.
Yeah, Mister
but
411 said LT was running the running gun in fantasy football.
yeah, remember that? I mean, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
loading it up. That's when the
yeah,
Colts.
because
Oh, Reggie Wayne was hot back then, and he
yeah,
went on and took
Oh
like
wow.
3 straight. I believe it was Randy Moss, and he took Owens. Then he turned around
yeah,
and took
yeah.
another
He
receiver.
had he had 2 first round picks that year, I believe. He did some kind of finagling to get 2 first round, and you're right, he drafted those 2 stud receivers, and you said run and gun, man, and it's funny because you could do the inverse. Back in the old days, that was a trend setting because a lot of people went those. I mean, you the other LT that we're referring to, he actually ran what you called the wishbone. He would draft 3 running backs with his first 3 picks, and then LT came in with his running gun and ran him out in the matchup they had. So, we saw it firsthand an evolution of fantasy football before our eyes back in
Oh,
the day.
Absolutely. All right. All right. Well, let's bring on another fantasy owner, and he'll be in our draft on August 30th. He's not a stranger to you and I. But let's bring in Captain Cosmo.
it's the captain.
There he
What
is.
up?
Hi, Captain.
What up?
What's up, Cap?
We're here.
What's living the dream.
Oh, and Captain, he had a guy that helped him out in the wide receiver position 2 years ago. He was the one that hit it big when Stephon Diggs made the change
My
and
dude.
brought him a championship. He was behind. He was behind almost 50 points going into Monday Night Football championship game, and he had the Josh Allen Stephon Diggs combo in championship. It was an amazing sight to see.
It was crazy.
It was.
Absolutely.
He was complaining, said how he did good all year, and he finally lose, and he's going to lose the championship.
I had Aaron Jones, and I had the tight end that year. I can't remember the tight end for Green Bay that year.
Joe Michael Finley.
I
How
can't
long
remember.
ago was it?
No, it was Tunyon.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he was hot at the end.
Yeah, because
And
well,
then-
he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year. You actually picked him up on waivers because the
So-
original tight end got hurt. And I'll give Captain Cosmo all the credit. The man is a waiver wire warrior. He'll do 20 moves in a week to try and see what sticks. And hey, sometimes it happens, and
Nice.
he has a resume that works.
Jones and Tunyon got me, I think, like a combined 12 points.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. Now I need 40 points out of freaking, to at least tie, I needed like 40 something points out of Diggs and Allen. And darn if they didn't connect four freaking times.
It was crazy. And another thing, you just think when you think it's over, Captain Cosmo's studs weren't performing. Yet the guy who was going had Michael Gallup. He picked up in the middle of the week off of waivers, got 2 touchdowns in championship. It's like, how is this joker going to win a championship with old broken down Michael Gallup coming in out of nowhere? But hey, and that's what. Hey, but I give Captain Cosmo credit. He had the number 1 wide receiver that year. Stephon Diggs was in like the 6th round that year. A lot of people were worried about him changing teams, and Captain Cosmo picked him up in the 6th round. And that's just going to show you wide receivers. You pick up the right one at the right time for a good price. The return on investments can be amazing.
Yeah, and that's the perfect segue to what we're going to discuss. We're going to get into the wide receiver rankings, and then we have our mock draft. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to pay just a couple of bills, all right? Heavenly Spa Mobile.
Yeah, my favorite time.
2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101-A, Macon, Georgia, 31204. Latanya can be reached at 4787-479231. Heavenly Spa Mobile, where relaxation is the key. Our segment is also brought to us by eBus Junior Boxing Academy, 3555 Mercer University Drive, Suite 104-1, Macon, Georgia, 31204. You can reach eButts at not one, but 2 numbers, 478-254-5442 or 478-319-1502. eButts Junior Boxing Academy. And, we're going to have to duke it out here. You got to get ready, Zach. I know you are a former professional wrestler, so you may have to grapple a little bit with calculator when we get into the rankings. But I'm sure you'll put him in the sleeper hold. Okay, I know you'll put him in the sleeper. All right, so let's go ahead and start, calculator. I'm gonna pass it over to you. Jump into the top 12 at wide receiver.
All right. Hey, it was a great list. I love seeing people that, I got 411's list, I got captain's list, and if our producer can pull that listing up, we can dive right in. But one of the things I've noticed that, I am the only one, and I'm just going to say yes, I don't have Cooper Kupp as number 1. And you say, calculator, why do you not have a guy that set records? Well, the one thing, wide receiver, my rankings are fluid. They could change tomorrow based on news. But right now, the latest news I keep hearing is Matthew Stafford's elbow. So I just have to hedge my bet, gun to the head. If I have to choose today between Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase, I'm going with Jamar Chase. I had Jamar Chase last year. I think he's going to get even a bigger target share this year. And I don't think Joe Burrow is going to get sacked nearly as time, because what happened to a lot of people don't understand. When he was under duress, he had a lot of times he would go to a T. Higgins. He'd go to a tight end. Jamar Chase, now he's going to have more time to go into the deep routes and stuff like that. Love Jamar Chase's upside. That's why I have him as my number 1 overall pick. I love the upside. Cooper Kupp, he's one of the best slot receiver. That's why he excelled. Sean McVay looked and said, "Hey, how does Cooper excel? He excels out of the slot. Hard to bracket coverage on slot receivers, right, left, stuff like that." So so now Cooper Kupp's number 2 for me. I'm not saying he's going to slack, but now if I hear more positive news coming out of camp, Matthew Stafford coming 100%, yes, Coop will be my number 1 receiver. But right now, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I mean, if you look at it for all 3 of us, pretty much the same 4. Well, with exception of Lacey, and we'll get to Lacey in just a second. It's like we have a party of 4 right there with Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, and Stephon Diggs. But Lacey, she freaked me out 411 and captain. She came up with Deebo Samuel as her number 2 overall. Lacey, explain yourself for that.
I'm ready.
I had to. I looked at last year's standings to start with, and I tried to think about which receivers were in the same situation that they were last year. And when I looked at that, I mean, Cooper Kupp had 85 more touchdowns than the next person. Excuse me, 85 fantasy points.
Yes.
50 points than the next person. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. And then the next person was Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, he did pretty well because I didn't realize that his numbers were that good. Mm-hmm. And, his situation is pretty much the same. So I don't see how that doesn't improve when you have more stability at quarterback and just more time to play together. Deebo,
Lacey,
he's the guy.
Yeah, well, Lacey, but this is the thing that scares me about Deebo, and that's why. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Deebo; he's in top 10, so I definitely don't have a problem with Deebo. The thing is, the quarterback situation is what kind of scares me because Deebo being he took a lot of end arounds, he got a lot of goal line touches on sweeps and stuff out of the run back's position. What's to say that Trey Lance, who is a running big quarterback, could take some of those away? So that's the only thing that scares me about Deebo. Of course, I love Deebo, but
as I said, his situation is very similar this year to last year, wherein he's the guy, and he seems to really be the only guy in San Francisco. And if he drops off, then that's fine with me because a part of how I do my rankings is I try to think about who I would want on my team at any given point in the draft, and I just like his outlook. So we'll see.
Okay, and I noticed an interesting thing. All 4 of us, I have seen. If you look at ADP, Justin Jefferson is actually the consensus number 2 overall receiver through expert rankings. However, I'm happy to say that me, Captain Lacey, we have him number 4 in our rankings. He's strictly number 4 because of his quarterback for me. But Mr. 401, you're not worried about Kirk Cousins, and you put Jamar.
I'm not worried about Jefferson.
Yeah, or Osborne. They said they're going to run a ton of 13 personnel out of there, which means 3 wide receiver sets. And I think that actually could hurt Justin Jefferson as well. I think his slice of the pie could get cut with the emergence of Osborne and stuff like that. And I think Dalvin Cook catching dump out passes and dominating red zone looks. That's the one thing that worries about me about Justin Jefferson. But 401, you have him number 2. Explain yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried because I'm not worried about it. I like this big target here. I like I like something that you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Calculator, that the offense, the new offensive scheme. And I think that, this is you mentioned some other receivers, but that's going to open it up even more for Jefferson, in my opinion. I think that Thielen is going to start sliding. He's going to start sliding to what I think is a better position for him, which is maybe the 2 target. And Jefferson's ready to explode, man. Somebody has to explode this year, and I believe it's going to be Jefferson.
And like I said, it's not like we had Justin Jefferson is chopped liver.
He's really going to take off.
Okay.
So hey, trust me. I owned Justin Jefferson in the league last year, but I was disappointed as much as I was surprised a lot of times too, just because he does have those. As soon as Kirk Cousins hit those primetime lights and gets blinded and doesn't know how to throw it straight, that hurts Justin Jefferson. So I just
Close.
so if I'm
Close
gonna
it.
time my quarter.
I don't care if
Go
he
ahead.
gonna close his eyes and throw it Jefferson's way, and Jefferson will come down with it. No
Okay.
problems here.
Okay. Well, and that's why I have a feeling Justin Jefferson isn't going to be on a lot of my teams because, like I said, he is consensus number 2 overall in ADP, so he will be off the board. A lot of times, it looks by our rankings. I think I'm going to more probably depending on draft position. If I'm telling people right now with the way it's going, if you're drafting at the end of the round, you're not going to get one of the top 4. I do not. Well, in a home league, you might, but in one of these sharper leagues, I don't think you're going to get a Cup, a Jefferson, because they're rising up boards. If you remember, guys, the very first mock draft when we drafted, we were in the number 11 spot, and we had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase both available to us. And remember, we went running back with Joe Mixon because we knew and we thought one of them, and both of them fell back to me. So as more and more drafts are going on, though, they're rising up the draft board. So if you want one of the big 3, I'm going to say big 4 because I like to put Diggs. I think he's in that top 4 for me. Hopefully you can get it. Otherwise, the people in 11, 12, they might just not have, a lot of times they like to double tap those big receivers at the end. The big 4 might not be there. So you might be able to go, hero running back and then get a Devontae Adams.
What's in the middle?
Cosmo, just out of curiosity, can you explain why your list is so similar to the calculators? We really want to know about that.
We're both very smart.
We're top 4.
Well, we've been in a lot of leagues together. Well, the thing is, with me and Captain, we do differ our opinions on Keenan Allen.
No, Mr. Calculator, hold up. Captain Cosmo,
No.
We want to hear from you. We don't want the calculator coaching you.
So
he's not coaching me.
Captain Cosmo sent me his list, and Captain Cosmo has not even looked at my list.
I am wanting to hear from Captain Cosmo. Calculator, can you
Coach,
it's similar, but I think more highly of Debo and Allen than he does. Mm-hmm. And y'all need to put some respect on Scary Terry. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, that's interesting about that, and I was going to bring that up to Captain.
Carson?
What's that?
What about Carson? That's the problem.
But what about last year? I mean, up and down quarterbacks too.
Yeah, I mean,
he still had a good year, but
Carson Wentz was able to support Michael Pittman in, having a dominant receiver and stuff like that. So, I mean, is Carson really a downgrade from Fitzpatrick or Hinkie or Heineke or whatever? Heineke and stuff like that. So, McLaurin is one of those. They say that he could be a quarterback proof, to the point. Now, I'm not going to have him as my wide receiver 1, but if McLaurin's, toiling in the 5th round, then I'm more. But yeah, go back to I'm not high on Keenan Allen. I'm worried about the plethora of weapons. Justin Herbert, he is not the guy that he don't force it to the person. He's starting to read through progressions. They got other weapons there that were, Eckler for dump offs. So that's the one thing I'm down on Allen. Now, full point PPR, which we do talk about. Yes, I do think Allen's best, but I just don't see him scoring touchdowns. And that's why Allen, again, I have him as a wide receiver 1 right at the end. Okay. I just don't have him as far up.
Let's sort out the middle. Let's sort out the middle. Let's sort out the middle of this rankings here.
Okay.
Sort that out for us, ladies and gentlemen. Right there in the middle.
Everybody has Adams pretty high, as he should be.
Yeah. Well, Adams and Derek Carr, they hooked up quite often in college. So.
Well, yeah, I'm hearing about that.
Yeah, so they
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we saw what happens if you have that college connection. They can call it muscle memory if you want. And Derek Carr, he's no slouch, so he does have and they have other guys to pull coverage away. Devontae Adams never had a solid number 2. He's been beating double coverage. Yeah. Granted, he has had Aaron Rodgers throwing on the ball, but I don't think Derek Carr is that far of a downgrade.
Okay, yeah, but
he's a Hall of Famer according to
Well, I think he. I'm not going that far.
Captain Cosmo, what about Mike Evans?
I like Mike Evans. I just like the people above him more. And with Allen,
because I'm a little concerned about him personally. I have him ranked where he should be, but I without Godwin there, and without Gronk, it's like who do they have to like?
I also worry about that
They're
offensive
going to just
line.
double team Evans.
Well, I think Gronk going is actually going to help Evans because that's going to give him more red zone targets. He's the big body receiver, and I think that actually helps. What I think is going to hurt Mike Evans could be if Julio shows a Tennessee Titans type Julio, a guy that can beat double coverage.
Julio.
So that's the one thing that could bring
I
down
like
Evans.
Julio,
But Chris Godwin, they said he's cleared, he's off the pup list. They actually said he's back at practice, which is pretty amazing. But I just love Mike Evans just because of his consistency, and I love the tempo, and I love the amount of pass plays that they're going to throw in Tampa Bay. So that's one of the reasons I still have Evans as a top 6 pick for me at the wide receiver.
Let's think about this with Keenan Allen. Only 3 wide receivers have 300 plus receptions since 2019. Who do you think they are?
One of them has
Keenan Allen's one of them.
What, Devontae Adams would be?
Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And
the Chargers are high. And Chargers are high octane. They're high octane on offense.
Yes, they will have, and they go for it on 4th down a lot.
Yes, that too.
As the owner of the Chargers kicker realizes last year that they go on 4th down a lot in the red zone.
Good. All right. Well, that's good to know when it comes to the special teams part of our show in a couple weeks. But I like to ask the panel this, and you all please sort this out. I see Lamb, and he's kind of in different positions across the board for us. So
Lacey does not like
what's going on there.
Yeah, Lacey, did he just make it in? I mean, what concerns you about Lamb that you have him all the way down?
Just made it in. I don't trust Dallas, really. I just don't trust them. You know, it's like, okay, Amari Cooper's gone. Michael Gallup may or may not start the season. I don't trust Dallas. I don't trust them to get the ball to the guy that I want them to give it to. You know. Like they gave Tony Pollard instead of Zeke.
But if you want to talk about sheer, they always say volume is king in fantasy. They say Lamb could be in for 160, 180 targets, this year because there's nobody else. Wow. But the thing is,
they're going to have to go get somebody else.
Gallup should be back, and they drafted 2 receivers too. So they think, but I think that could really help Dalton Schultz. As far as volume as well, a lot of time he's actually rising up the draft boards on the tight end side now with, a lot of these, now Pitts is all the way in the 2nd round and stuff. So now people that are starting to panic at tight end, they're going for the Dalton Schultz and stuff like that.
Just out of curiosity, CeeDee Lamb hasn't been the number 1 receiver before, right?
Correct.
And how many times have we seen like a great number 2 receiver move to number 1? And they're just not ready, or they're just not able to handle it. You know what I mean? Amari Cooper was the one getting double teamed. Now does CeeDee Lamb have the same kind of numbers when all the pressure's on him?
Well, that has happened before. Remember Devontae Adams? He was the number 2 at one time, and then when Jordy Nelson got hurt, he slid in. So it does happen. It depends on quarterback play. It depends on an opportunity, and I think Lamb's going to get opportunity. However, as you see, me and Captain, we're a little bit lower. Mr. 4-1, you're the highest on CeeDee Lamb. Do you have any things that you're concerned about with CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, we can't hear you, Mr.
Wait,
4-1.
Mr. 4-1, you're on mute.
You muted yourself.
So, but yeah, I think Mr. 411 why he works with the producers to get unmuted. He's the highest on Lamb. But again, now we noticed that. Well, I can't ask Mr. 411 because he's still on mute because it looks like we all have.
I'm trying to talk to him.
Okay. Hey, Mr. 411, we noticed me, Lacey, and Captain. We all have Tyreek Hill. Are you really that concerned about Tyreek Hill moving addresses? That he can't even make your top 12?
T. Higgins is going to outperform him?
Yeah, with Jamar Chase on the same team.
We still can't hear you, Mr. 411.
Yeah. So, but I think the concern with Tyreek Hill, I think a lot of people I say a lot of people. I think the only one concerned with Tyreek Hill is Mr. 411. But a lot of people are worried about with Waddle in town and The downgrade, yes, Tua Tagovailoa, we'll call him
Yeah.
TT, is not no Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so that's so yes, that a lot of people were talking about sequels, and they compared somebody like Juju Smith-Schuster going from Pittsburgh to Kansas City. The sequel like Maverick is to Top Gun, and then they said the sequel for Tyreek Hill going from Patrick Mahomes to Miami is like Speed 2. So going from Keanu Reeves to Jason Patrick.
Can you hear me?
So
All
yes,
right.
Can you hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear
Hear
you.
you now.
All right.
Yes.
All
Explain
right,
yourself on
let me
Tyreek
chime in
Hill
real
not
quick.
making your rankings.
Well, let's go CD Lamb first, right? Because you asked me about him too.
Yeah, you're the
I'm not-
highest.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
We
not
couldn't hear you.
I'm not concerned about CD Lamb. I think that with Cooper leaving, that can do nothing but just give him more opportunities. So with the speed that he has, and Dak Prescott is definitely a solid quarterback. Dallas will establish the run this year, which will be good too. They have a two back kind of set now, and a solid tight end to kind of clear things up in the middle. I think Lamb is gonna, even if it's not a proficient type performance, he's going to get the sheer opportunity. So that opportunity is what I relish, whether it's garbage time or any time. So that's why I'm good on Lamb.
Okay. And
Okay.
All right.
and how far is Tyreek Hill on your rankings? We don't see him in your top 12.
Well, I have a slight concern about that one. Like Evans now, don't get me wrong. Tyreek is fast. He's the cheetah. He's going to get his share of receptions. So, but for me, I like all the other ones that I have above him. Like with Brown, I like the size. I like the size of Brown. Higgins, again, I like a big target. I like those guys because they can get those touchdown receptions. The cheetah will get his share of catches, but I do have concern about Tua. I really do. So that's why I have him a little further down than the other guys.
And I see Pittman made your list and Lacey's list. He is not on me or captain's list. I have him a little out. I think I have him at 15 overall on my overall listing. So Mr. One, I mean Pittman, you have him above Debo, above Higgins, above Allen. Explain yourself, please.
Oh, what
Look,
did
Mr. 4-1 is outside the box sometimes, and and by the way, that's the name of one of the shows on one of our programming, Outside the Box with
Okay.
Ebuts Jr. So
Okay.
tune in for that too. Hit like side notification
Sure.
buttons. But
Shameless plug.
Pitt-
Okay.
it was extremely shameless,
Yeah.
Lacey.
Now, I
But
have a question for you
okay,
guys. Why
Matt.
am I the only one
Well,
that like?
well, I gotta
Pitt?
answer. But I gotta answer my question about Pitts first, real quick. Matt
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ryan. I was busy getting my shameless plugs there. All right, but Matt Ryan, he tends to throw to one receiver a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm banking on Pitts to be that one receiver that he likes to throw to a lot, and he's a big
Okay.
target.
I got you.
Okay, back
Lacey,
to
you
Lacey.
have him in your top 12. What do you like about Pittman that got him in your top 12?
Well, I mean, just Indy is they have a great defense, and now they have Matt Ryan who loves to throw the ball, and I don't see anybody that's going to stop him. So I think that he's going to have a really good year.
So nobody's listening to that Paris Campbell hype, saying he's in the best shape of his life at Indianapolis.
He can be all he
That's
wants.
really good. How come
He
nobody
could be in
likes
a great.
Metcalf?
Oh,
Well,
and
I
I was gonna go ahead, Mr. Seattle.
Yeah, I'm a
I like
Seattle
Mr.
Seahawks
Seattle.
fan. A shameless Seattle Seahawks fan.
Uh-huh.
And I like Mac. I like him a lot, Lazy, to answer your question.
But he didn't make
But
your
we're
top
talking about
12.
yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't like him. I
Well,
I just don't like him for
I
the top.
mean, you got T.
But
Higgins in there.
yeah, yeah. But again, Geno Smith may be the starting quarterback for Seattle, and Seattle is going to bottom out this year. I'm going to watch all the
Maybe
games, but I don't
Geno's not
expect
all
anything from
bad.
Seattle.
And they
He's
play at
not.
such a slow pace. I mean,
Yeah, it's
they're gonna
methodical.
do they're gonna run first, run second, and then throw third.
Yeah,
So,
he'll get his share. He'll get his share, but I mean, look, I'll take Higgins in that offense before I take, one of Seattle's starting quarterbacks and Metcalf. So
and
that's
Lacey,
what I have for that.
why did he make your list? Because you're the
He's
only
still
one that has
DK
him.
Metcalf. I mean, he's a dominant player, and he's the number one there. So
Hmm.
I don't think their game plan is going to change that much. You
So you
know.
like DK Metcalf over AJ Brown apparently then. What do you
Yeah,
not like about AJ Brown?
Devontae Smith.
Oh, okay. So
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's just one ball,
yeah,
and,
but
and they're talking
what
about they want to run first, and
but
they still have what's his name, the tight end
Goddard.
Goddard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Got
just
it.
a lot of mouths to feed in Philly, and
Well,
I don't know who's going to be the number one.
well, AJ Brown has actually shown in the past that he can do more with less, and that was he showed that in Tennessee where they didn't have a lot of passes going around. They were a run first team, and he still got his. He's one of those few guys that can, take that little slant pattern,
Hmm.
take it to the house. I mean, he's like a tank. I mean, just the guy is just huge, and he can run fast. And then he can also go deep. I like his repertoire, and that's one of the reasons I still have AJ Brown. Uh, you know, bad thing is he's so big he does get injured sometimes because he likes to run through contact. But yeah, I actually like the Philadelphia offense as a whole.
I
So
do
that's
too.
why I think
I
I'm the
like them,
highest on
but
AJ Brown
I
of
can't
all
figure
of
out
us.
who's going to be leading it. So,
So I mean, yeah,
All
because
right.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are total opposites.
mhm.
Okay. Anything
And
else
it's
before
still
we
just
wrap
one
up the
ball.
receivers?
I
Go
think
ahead.
Calculator needs to explain himself. He's the only one that has DJ Moore.
Oh,
Oh
I'm glad
yeah.
you said that, Captain Cosmo. I've been a DJ Moore fan for years. It seems like I always get him on my teams. The guy I think is one of the most talented guys in the league. He has just been held back by his offense. And love him or hate him, I think Baker Mayfield is an upgrade over the past three quarterbacks they've had in there. He's had bad luck when it comes to touchdowns. So I think he will see a positive regression in the touchdown, and I think he's still going to catch his 100 balls because I think they're going to be in quite a few shootouts. And I've always said volume is king, and I think you want to talk about nobody else. That Robbie Anderson was so bad he had to change his name to try and get some recognition. All right, so I think I love DJ Moore. I love the volume he's going to get, and I think the touchdowns is going to go his way this way. So I love DJ Moore, and that's why DJ Moore and a lot of more and more mock drafts I'm doing by myself, not as a group, because I think, but DJ Moore is ending up in a lot of my mock because you can get him in the into the fifth round. I've been seeing in a lot of drafts, and I
Wow.
think that a lot of people, and as we're seeing in our listing, I think a lot of people are overlooking DJ Moore. So I think his values getting about getting nice. I like DJ Moore apparently more than everybody else. But yeah, I mean, when I'm splitting hairs, I think DJ Moore is going to catch a lot of passes like Keenan Allen, but I put his touchdown. I think his touchdowns is what puts him above someone like a Keenan Allen,
Okay.
above. And the
Cool.
one reason Higgins did not make my list is because I'm so high on Jamar Chase. I think that has to have an adverse effect to T. Higgins. One of the few combo receivers two people in the top 10. I mean, we're looking back in the years of Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden when they were together. Very rarely.
That's a throwback.
Exactly. Larry, that I think was Anquan Bolden's rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, where two guys from the same team both made top tens. So it don't happen very often. So when I have
Time for a
somebody,
commercial.
Jamar Chase, number
Mhm.
one, I have to get T. Higgins as a wide receiver too.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to a quick commercial break. Come back on the other side with the mock draft. All right. It's
Oh,
gonna be according to the producers, we have 3 commercials, and on one of them, Lacey, please cover your eyes. All right. Commercial break.
I'm gonna.
Hey, V.
Woo! Thank you.
Yeah, Lacey did the cover eyes, but she still had the fingers like that.
Oh yeah. I ain't got no saying in my
And
game.
she just, I was
got a
waiting for it to
question.
come up for us. Oh boy.
I didn't get a chance to ask it before Mr. 411 just kind of like cut to commercial. But I'm just curious from everybody. It's like, is there any particular wide receiver that is not in your top 12 that you feel like is going to end up being a top 12 receiver? Somebody who's not in the top 12 that you selected. And I'd like to hear everybody's choice for that, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I get mine out the way. I didn't have Samuels, if I'm correct. Isn't that right, calculator?
That is correct.
Okay,
Well, no,
so
you had.
he would be
Hold
one
on.
of those.
Let me see. Well, let's read that. Yeah, you had Debo. You had him at in
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
top 10.
Or
Yeah.
was it Hill?
Hill, Tyreek Hill. Yes.
Yes, that's what it was. Hill. Hill could
Yes.
be one of those receivers for me that's not in my top 12, but he could end up there. Strictly off of his speed. And if you're playing PPR, he can get a lot of catches. He can probably be a safety valve for Tua, on the quick screens, things like that. So he can pile up some points that way as well. And he can probably take one to the house. So he could end up that way. He could take a short one and break it deep, break it long. So that would be my guy. I'll
A
pass it to
guy I
Captain.
like that you can get later in drafts. Also, he's actually climbing up drafts now in the 5th round. Is an old, and I've been dogging him. Early on is Michael Thomas. He's done it
Whoa.
before. He's been the number 1 overall receiver. He has the reception record. And granted, it's a different quarterback, different system. But if he can reassert himself as being fully healthy, he's one of the top. Receivers that can create separation and use that big body. And hey, he's had 3 years to recuperate from a high ankle sprain, so he should be healthy. So yeah, I think Michael Thomas is one of those guys that you can get in the 5th round and be one of those guys like a Jamar Chase. Remember, he was falling in drafts last year because they were talking about poor camp results. But Lacey, I'm going to give you credit. You were the one that said you were not going to believe the hype of the Jamar Chase, but you were going to let other people believe the hype, but you said talent is talent, and you're going to
Yeah.
take them as a gift. So but I got to give Lacey credit. She called it on Jamar Chase. If you have the talent, don't listen to all the negative hype. But personally, I like Michael Thomas as a guy that could be in there as a top 12 receiver. That's not on my listing, but he could surprise.
I like that. Yeah.
Captain.
Deontay Johnson.
Oh, hey, yes.
The dude got 1,000. He had 1,161 yards, 8 touchdowns with old lip noodle Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. He's like a hit or miss, and you're right. If the old Pickett, takes over the reins, he might want to do a little safety valve to a guy that they know can get open on a 8-yard hitch route. So yeah, I like that Deontay Johnson call, Captain. I think a lot of people are missing on him.
Well, that's a great way to transition to our sponsor for this mock draft.
Do you mind if I say mine?
Well, oh yeah, please say
That was
yours.
her question.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted to hear what we had. I'm sorry. Go
Portland
ahead.
Button is who I'm saying.
Okay, very
As in
good one.
Denver, it's like DK
Yeah.
was DK partially because of Russell Wilson, and he's gonna be
Yeah.
in Denver throwing that ball around. So I'm gonna get him if I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very good
Right.
one there. All right. Well, going back to captain, and he called quarterback limp noodle, right? So that's the way to transition
Love
to
it.
our sponsor for this mock draft, the pantyplatter.com.
Oh
Check
yeah.
out the pantyplatter.com.
Oh,
So you won't be like Big Ben and be called limp noodle.
well. Oh,
So check out
my.
www.thepantyplatter.com for all your lingerie needs. All right. It's time for the draft.
All right.
The wheel of
Let's go.
names.
Here we go. Let's see where we're drafting, folks. Number 9. All right. So we are drafting in the 9th position. We'll see. We might be able to get one of those receivers, and we talked about him in length
Yeah. All right.
Miller Lite. We take that with the first pick,
Okay.
ninth pick.
All right. So Justin Jefferson, as I said, and Cooper Cup, those are pretty much the two receivers off the board. Jamar Chase is available. He's my number one receiver, of course. But I mean, if y'all want to go running back, there's plenty of running backs available. We got DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon. However, I do think running backs, I think Aaron Jones could fall back to us. Saquon
Mhm.
Barkley could fall back to us. I mean, there's a lot of running backs that could fall to us if
Mhm.
we choose Jamar Chase, or do y'all want one of the Joe Mixon or DeAndre Swift? Because I assure you, Jamar Chase will not fall back to us
No, he will not.
with our
Um,
second round pick.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take a chance on Chase. I don't want Mixon and Chase.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think,
And
Captain?
before, oh, go ahead, Captain.
It's hard there. I definitely like Chase over Mixon, but I don't know that I don't like Kelsey over Jamar Chase. Now that I mean he's going to get a ton of volume,
He is.
Yeah.
No Tyreek.
so that's tough for me.
Yeah.
There's tons of
You
wide
know-
receivers. Running backs could fall back. Outside of a few tight ends, it gets pretty slim pickings. So I mean, I would say I'm on Kelsey.
Okay, what about you for one?
Wow. Well, before I make my pick, my suggestion to the group, we are a team, and I say go look in the top right hand corner of the screen, and there's our team helmet.
Yeah, Brett Favre.
All right. Just want to keep that going. All right, keep that streak alive there with saying that.
Oh my.
Well, I'm a running back guy, so I would definitely want to get either Mixon or I can even go Swift at this point. But just for me, I like to take running backs with my first pick, unless it's that.
So you don't want to
in
gamble that
scenario.
Aaron Jones could come back to us in the second round?
I mean, if he does, then we get him too.
Well, I mean, we have to have a consensus. So, okay, so Captain says Kelsey, Calculator says Chase, Lacey says Chase, and Mr. 411 says
Running back.
running back.
So we'll go with Jamar Chase.
So we're all over the place here.
Yeah.
Chase wins.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 out of 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Does Kelsey fall back? Probably not.
Nope.
Oh no, Kelsey went right at the turn.
Well, there's
But look at
Aaron
that.
Jones.
Look at that. Aaron Jones did
Aaron
fall
Jones
to
did.
us. I mean, now I'm just saying that was my game plan and why I chose Jamar Chase, because I thought we could get an adequate running back on the turn.
Right.
But again, there are all these receivers. But hey, I think we're good at receiver right now. What about now? If Kelsey would have fell back, I would have been on captains. That is, I mean, that would have been great value to have Kelsey in the second round, early second round again. But I had a feeling he wasn't going to come back because Kelsey's usually going at that 12 one slot. So what do you guys think? I mean, there's plenty of run. I mean, the wide receivers, you're looking at CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill. Running back, we're looking at Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley. Kamara is still available. He's been climbing up boards thinking his suspension could be next year.
Well, if we
I
don't
was
take a
good with
running
Aaron
back
Jones.
now, if
Yeah,
we don't
we
take a
definitely
running
need a
back
running back.
now,
Yeah, running back.
running back.
we're gonna be
I'm
struggling.
good with Aaron Jones. You guys know I love Aaron Jones this year.
Yeah, I do too.
Look, my last name's Jones, so go with it.
Okay. What about you, Captain? Do you have any? I mean, do you have any running backs you have over Aaron Jones that are still
Aaron
available?
Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
Okay. Let's get him. Well,
Definitely
Jamar
not
Chase and
Saquon.
Aaron. I think Jamar Chase and Aaron Jones is a great start to any draft.
Can't complain. Especially coming from the 9 slot.
Yep. Okay. Pitts. He was that last tight end. The big three tight ends are off the board. Running backs, we have Ezekiel Elliott, Brees Hall, ETN. I think that's still a little early for those guys. Although Ezekiel Elliott could have a bounce back year. But I think those are, they talk about the running back dead zone. I think that's what a lot of these guys are, that they'll fall back to us. I mean, we could load up on they still got, my guy, I mean, I don't I know you guys aren't favored, but DJ Moore at the end of the third round, we got McLaurin, who's a guy. What do you guys think? Y'all want to go running back? Josh Allen is still on the board at quarterback. Consensus number one quarterback.
How does everyone feel about Zeke? Do we all feel like does anybody not feel like Zeke's going to have a comeback season?
What about Tony Pollard? That's the problem with Zeke.
So we want to stay away. It sounds like we want to stay away from Zeke in this war room right here.
Well, I've been burnt before.
Okay.
I mean, well, see, I'm a DJ Moore guy, so I'm on it. But I'll die on that island alone. So, but if you guys want to go with somebody else, I'm more than I don't mind Terry McLaurin. I don't like Jalen Waddle just because, again, I Tyreek Hill scares me with Waddle's production.
I like Josh Allen right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you can't, I mean, hard to go wrong with a Josh Allen in the volume.
I like Josh Allen.
I go with DJ Moore or Josh Allen. Either one of those is fine with
All right,
me.
we'll see what falls to us. We'll go Josh Allen. We'll get a proven quarterback on board. Number 1 overall. I mean,
you can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying?
And look, DJ Moore fell back.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
I'm good with DJ Moore. We could party. We need a DJ anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Party, so let's get DJ Moore.
I told you guys, DJ Moore. If you're a fan like myself, he is following it. Now, Captain Cosno better not be using that love against me in a couple drafts. I'll be with him because I will call him out in the draft. That's why he got on this podcast to begin with. So, all right, all right. So we're going DJ Moore.
Can't wait to come over.
Yeah, I'll call him out.
All right, we're partying now. We got a DJ in the house. All right.
Yes. All right. Now look. Okay.
St. Brown. I did not mention St. Brown. I like St. Brown too.
I like St. Brown as well.
Well, and I'll say this.
In Detroit, yeah.
I think St. Brown will fall back to us, so that's why I don't think we should pick him.
I definitely
here.
don't want to take him here, but
yeah,
just outside
that is a good idea, and I'm glad. And see, that's what we want to tell people when you're drafting. Look at the next round. Look at to see if you might like somebody, but look at ADP to see they might fall back to us. So load up on another person that still you like, and then hopefully the guy that now you don't play strictly the ADP game, but I think in this case we can.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so where are we going? Running back?
I say running back. I mean, there's Antonio Gibson, there's J.K. Dobbins. Good people saying J.K. Dobbins is looking good, coming back from his injury. I don't want to do A.J. Dillon because we got Aaron Jones. I like A.J. Dillon more as a flex player. I wouldn't want him and Aaron Jones as my 2 top running backs.
Yeah.
So even though I like him, we could go Gibson. I mean, he's
not a running back.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson is.
Oh,
and PPR.
You still only have 1 running back, but okay.
So
and he's gonna get He's gonna get receptions too, right?
Yeah, he should. I mean, he was a wide receiver in college. Ron Rivera is not known for that. But dang, Ron Rivera coached McCaffrey, so he knows he can throw to running backs. So, what do you think, Captain? You go with Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, I do like J.K. Dobbins, but they'll have a freaking new quarterback week 3 of the way Baltimore plays. So I would go with Antonio there in that tier. I think
and Antonio, and Antonio's not our bell cow. He's our running back.
I would have taken Dillon if it wasn't for us taking.
If it wasn't Aaron Jones, yeah, absolutely. Okay. If I had another running back, I don't mind taking AJ Dillon as my running back too, but not if I have Aaron Jones as my starter.
Wow, it's back.
Oh man, St. Brown didn't make it back to us.
Okay,
he went 6.
Gabriel Davis
to go with.
Yeah, you talked about him before.
I love having a good
so we would be pairing him with Josh Allen. That we would hit that double do. A guy that got saved by the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen.
I'm excited about that one.
Hey, I'm good with Gabriel Davis.
Okay.
Hey, we got.
Let's do it.
There we go. That's consensus right there.
Yeah,
Dobbins is still out there too.
Yeah, Dobbins was still out there. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the good thing about getting our 2 running backs is we are able to play more flexible.
What the heck is Drake London?
Oh, he's the top draft pick for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Look at that. AJ Dillon is still out there.
Flex.
Yeah, I mean he don't need to be our starter. And he's our backup. Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we were thinking a handcuff and a guy that can get you in the flex in a pinch. So
get the double start.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll look at our rosters real quick. We got our quarterback, Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson, Jamar. Man, I love the makeup. I'm a little worried about the running back too. However, AJ Dillon makes me feel a lot better about having somebody like Antonio Gibson as a running back too. Gabriel Davis loved the flex. Goodness gracious, we got some. Let's look at the tight ends. We need a tight end, but I mean, I don't. Well,
we got about 6 minutes. We got about 6 minutes.
Y'all want to knock out the tight end right now, or do y'all want to go hit running back with Chase Edmonds at running back? Allen Lazard. Well, we got enough receivers or enough Green Bay Packers thing. So,
well, we need a starter at tight end, right? We need a starter.
Yeah, I would do tight end.
Okay, which one do y'all want? T.J. Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz?
I like Goddard, but any one of those will do. But I like the Philly offense, so I like
Goddard. Well, you gotta go with Goddard.
Please,
Gotta go with Goddard.
I like Goddard. And I know Captain likes Dawson Knox, but we already have shares of the Buffalo offense currently. So if just to let the listeners out there, if you're in a draft and you want some of that Buffalo offense and you don't grab any early on, pick up a Dawson Knox near the 8th, 9th round and get some of it. So, but in this case, we'll go with Goddard. Get some of that Philly offense in there.
I think there's a lot of mouths to feed in Philly.
Yes, that's the only problem.
Yeah,
we can still get Knox as a backup. You know, we have a bench too. So.
Well, he won't be available as a backup. I mean, he'll be picked.
Yeah, I'm not going backup yet.
Yeah. So, well, we still have Ken Walker III. Ramondre Stevenson is still out there at running back. You know, James White. Did we tell our listeners James White?
He retired, right?
Yeah. So, so the pass catching back, they said Ramondre Stevenson could be in there. Or if we want to stay with wide receivers, we got upside in Garrett Wilson. Oh, there's that Sky Moore that we know Lacey loves some Sky Moore in the Kansas City offense. Yeah, I think Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore might make it back to us.
What's up with Hawkinson still out there?
We got Ramon.
I think I would go Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that with the James White retirement.
Yeah,
we go with him.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
We'll knock him out. Yeah, we'll knock him on out. How many picks we got, Cal?
We got 3 more bench spots and then a defense and a kicker.
Okay.
So look at that. Sky Moore still available. If we want some upside, this could be it right here.
You got to have some in Kansas City.
Yeah, and he's not a starter. Is anybody good with that?
Let's get him.
I'm fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm actually after Lacey pointed him to me because I've been an MVS guy, but I think I'm only an MVS guy if I need more of a starter flex guy. I think a guy to stash is a Sky Moore because he's got the skill set.
MVS still there.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
You can't go on.
I'm not gonna fall for it. Hey, remember the guy I mentioned, Isaiah Spiller, the Eckler back, the goal line back for a team that likes to go for it on 4th down. Another guy we could just stash on our bench. Yeah,
let's stash him.
What y'all think?
Yeah, I like stash.
Because he actually wasn't available in the 11th round in our last draft, so I think that we could get good value on him.
Okay.
All right. So this is we got
defense.
We got one more bench spot and then a defense and a kicker. So
okay. Ooh.
Do we want a backup quarterback or?
I don't think so. If we have a Josh Allen, I feel good. The Lamar Jackson I would think about it at this because if you think about it, look at Matthew Stafford. People, the elbow is scaring people off of Matthew Stafford. If you want to wait, you can get a Matthew Stafford in this draft in the 12th round. I mean, Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
I mean, you got.
I ain't drafting Kirk Cousins.
Man, he's got Justin Jefferson as his reverse.
Yes, and I got him at the top.
Yeah.
I don't care who throwing to him.
So where are we going?
All right, let's pick somebody.
Okay.
I would do one of those wide receivers. Probably.
Yeah, I'm a wide receiver guy here.
Take Julio.
Hey, let's go Julio. We don't have any. We don't have any temp. We didn't get Mike Evans, so
we can drop Julio.
We can
Yeah,
drop it if
that's
we need
right.
if you need to.
On
Okay,
Josh
so
Allen.
now
All
we
right,
know
now
that
it's
On Josh Allen's
defense.
bye week.
All right, now we got to see if the Rams.
The
Oh, the
Rams.
Rams got picked right before, right as soon as
Oh,
I said it. As soon
that
as
is
I
our Rams
said the
streak.
Rams. Oh
Chargers.
man,
All
yeah.
right.
I think the
Where's
Chargers
New
are way
England?
better this year.
Go
New
Chargers
England
then.
already went.
Oh, they already gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the
Go
Chargers are
Chargers.
available. I
They have a lot of
mean,
pickups.
Well, I guess Buffalo's gone.
Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo's one of the top guys. One of the top teams off.
Yeah.
Green Bay is solid. Baltimore. I mean, they could bounce back. They had a lot of injuries last year. I mean,
Right.
I would
you
do
know,
Baltimore.
I would rather take a
Chargers.
chance on them than Dallas.
yeah. Let's do that. We'll go with Baltimore because they can when they turn over the ball and they should be a lot healthier. A lot of those season-ending
Mhm.
injuries, they'll be back. And he loves to blitz. All out blitzes. So, and we got to fill out the kicker. Y'all want the Tampa Bay kicker, the Arizona kicker.
Who's got the
Oh,
latest
Tampa Bay.
bye week?
The latest bye week is Matt Prater for Arizona. And hey,
Take him.
I give Kingsbury credit though for Arizona. That joker loves to kick field goals. It'll be fourth and 1, and he's kicking field goals.
Take him then.
So we'll take Prater, and he's indoors.
Okay.
With Kyler Murray, they'll get down into the red zone. So here it is.
Woo. Okay.
Got a decent.
I
Hey,
tell you.
I love the Josh Allen, Aaron Jones, Jamar Chase. The starters. And look, Gabriel Davis teaming up with Josh Allen. The only way we're weak is that running back too. But look, we got A.J. Dillon. We got Mondre Stevenson. We got the Chargers goal line back in Isaiah Spiller. We got upside in. Hey, guys, I think this was a great draft. I'm starting to really
Absolutely.
like the 9 slot. So far, I think I'm
Mhm.
more comfortable with the 9 slot that we've been in so far. But like we were saying, and Mr. 401, that's why we tell people to like, subscribe, and notify. If people were following us, that very first draft, remember those
Yep.
Jamar Chases, and they weren't being drafted at the end of the round. You could have gotten them in the second round. No more. We're showing you the progression of how these drafts are now going. Wide receivers are climbing up. Those stud receivers are climbing up. So be prepared that, hey, you can go to a stud running back later on in the draft
That's
as
it.
you watch
That's
these
it.
trends.
Thank you. And
Thank
look,
All
and
right.
if everybody would just do the following, do the following right here.
Subscribe, like, and notify. That's what we try to help you
I
out,
like
people.
it.
Yeah, we try to help people out. If you don't follow us, it's going to be hard to follow the trends. We're following the trends for you guys. That's why we have a mock draft every Monday to show people how things are going at this. Because the draft simulator I'm doing is what they're doing. They're taking thousands of drafts, money drafts, and best ball. That some of these are best ball drafts, I have to admit, because that's
Wow.
where you try to get information that people actually have skin in the
1
game.
minute.
You know, so they're going to take people that have money invested to give you as real life experience as possible.
Well, it was great hanging
Very
out with
good.
you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Welcome
All right.
back, Captain Cosmo.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna
All
get you a
right.
bigger mic next time. And we're gonna make the calculator's mic really tiny.
I don't know what happened.
There you go.
But I'm just teasing you, calculator. You always
A noodle mic.
Yeah,
Noodle mic. Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, I thank everybody for watching and listening. Captain, we'll see you again next week. Calculator, see you again next week. And Lacey Dawson, we'll see you again next week. For everybody watching, we thank you all. Have a great day. Signing
Ciao.
off now.
Night, everyone.